everybody. I'm back. Sorry. Dean's show, because of the East Coast, West Coast time thing, I had it listed as later. And so I had to jump in and do that. And hi. Hello. Sorry. Welcome to the morning show. This is HAL Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide. And it's Take 5 Friday because, Trump took like 50 takes on his video that he was trying to post on January 7th. And of course, it should be more like Plead the Fifth Friday, but that was a couple of Fridays ago because that seems to be the regular go of it. Hi, everybody. Yes, Chip started the stream early. There we go. 1098. Thanks, Doc. Hi. Welcome, everybody in the chat room. There we go. I am back. Yep, here I am. Yeah, I was on Dean's show. It'll be airing later on today. Because they let's see, I'm trying. There's so much stuff because of last night. Like it's just the Jan 6 stuff, hilarious. But there's also some other stuff I want to share with you out of the gate, trending, if I may. I'm gonna keep my talking to a minimum. I sang my ass off last night. It was really fun. Turned out very well. Thanks to Eddie Trunk for the singing, the ringing endorsement of my singing, and yeah, it was a good time. Thanks to everybody who showed and everybody who wished they could have. It was really good time. One of our longest shows, because we're adding material like crazy, and that felt really good. We did the biggest chunk of Van Hagar songs that we've ever done. So yeah, I like lots of fun stuff. Anyways, so welcome, gather in. How are you? Hope you're well. There we go. Hi, chat room. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. We will be, of course, doing the radio show. Philip Bittner will be joining us tomorrow for the radio show. And, of course, this afternoon, I'm hoping... Oh, my mic is low? Look at that. It is, a little bit. Let me check it. Turn it all up. Is that better? All right. Is that better? Thank you. Yeah, I had to... I think I had to turn it down because of... We used Zoom for the other thing. So that's probably it. Okay, so... Hey, there we go. There you go. I am too quiet. I apologize. I fixed it, I think. Ta-da. Oh, Sylvia, happy belated birthday. Excellent. Mucho Botero, thanks. Oh, Josh Hawley equals Sir Robin. Bravely came Sir Robin. He bravely ran away. Oh, didn't. When danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. I never did. Is Josh Hawley still running? Not for president anymore. Like, can you? I mean, the ads just make themselves. He's gonna have to like wait 3 cycles to run for president for people to not put in, in the ad. He's running. He's always been running. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go straight to the trends this morning because there's a lot of stuff. This was one of the weirdest parts of it. So this guy, Lee Zeldin, is running for New York governor as he's the Republican candidate. And a dude attacked him, a MAGA supporter, attacked him and called him a Democrat. And the dude was drunk. Let's see, let's read this. Yeah. Attacked him with a knife, ran on stage at a campaign event, and let's see if they have it in here without it being video. Yeah. U.S. Rep. Lee Zeldin, Republican nominee for New York governor, and to thank Andrew Giuliani, this could have been you. Narrowly escaped harm Thursday night after he was attacked on stage at a campaign event. Zeldin was delivering a speech in Fairport, New York, when a man climbed on stage and attempted to stab Zeldin. A statement from the campaign said the GOP lawmaker grabbed the attacker's wrist to stop him until several others assisted in taking the attacker down to the ground. The congressman returned to the stage to finish his remarks after the alleged perpetrator was taken into custody. Congressman Zeldin, Allison Esposito, and all members of the team Zeldin are safe following tonight's attack, said the spokesperson. Zeldin posted a still frame from the video shot by WHEC that seems to show the alleged attacker holding an object he tried to use as a weapon. It's one of these like double poker knives. See that? It's like you'd hide in your belt. His words as he tried to stab me a few hours ago were, "You're done." But several attendees, including Esposito of New York, quickly jumped into action, tackled the guy. Law enforcement was on the scene within minutes. Attacker likely instantly. Yes, the attacker will likely be instantly released under New York's laws. He indeed was. The alleged weapon used was a plastic keychain designed for 2 fingers, the image of a cat's face, and is intended to be used for self-defense. Oh, God. David Jacobonis, quit it. Quit it. Look, that's not proof we live in a simulation just because a guy named Jacobonis, a Republican Trump voter, attacked a Republican candidate for governor. Changes to the cashless bail laws, blah, 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 support law enforcement to keep neighborhoods under. That's a city by city thing, whatever. Anyways, Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul, Zeldin's opponent in the November gubernatorial contest, who's going to win, tweeted Thursday evening that she was relieved to hear he was not injured in the incident. My team informed me, but Zeldin announced his candidacy for governor last year, a vocal defender of former President Donald Trump during his presidency. Hochul, meanwhile, defeated the primary challenger. Yeah, what's the guy? Yeah, let's look that dude's name up. Hold on. The David Jacobone up. There we go. Let's see. Lee Zeldin attacker quickly released from jail, just as poll predicted. Who is David Jacobonis? Lee Zeldin attack suspect, reported Iraq war vet. The man accused of attacking New York gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin at a campaign event has been named by police as David Jacobonis. He was known for stealing people's tips at his old job. Zeldin quit it. Zeldin, the Republican standing against the state Democratic governor, Kathy Hochul, in November was delivering a speech, blah, blah, blah. A male from the crowd climbed the stage. The male had a weapon in his hand. He said, "You're done." Members of the audience restrained him. There were no injuries. Who's from Fairport has been charged with attempted assault in the second degree and arraigned in Parenton Town Court and released on his own recognizance because he was drunk and he attacked him with a kitty keychain. Video of the incident shows a man rushing Zeldin, and then they jump him. Local broadcast reported that Jacobonis was an Iraq war vet who was inebriated at the time of the incident. LinkedIn profile. He's on LinkedIn. David Jacobonis. I will jack your bonus. New York, Fairport, New York, states that he is currently unemployed looking for a new job. According to, he studied clinical laboratory sciences at George Washington and criminal justice at Rochester Institute of Technology, then worked for 5 years as a lab tech in the U.S. Army. Thanks to swift action, several days, he had a little scrape. Said Zeldin's running mate, please, Ambets. Zeldin, who represents, we've seen this, he defeated Andrew Giuliani, that's it. That's all we're going to get. Yep. You done, son. Lee Zeldin attacker was drunk. Maybe he was just tired of the speech. You know what I mean? Like he's just over it. If I was under the influence of Jackie Collins, Zeldin saying was under when he served in, said he served in Iraq, I got down on my hands and knees and said, we're going to get you through whatever you're going through tonight. Chen Li is national director of the nonprofit Veterans Service AMVETS and a candidate for state office, Republican and conservative tickets. That's the dude who did it. He's on Instagram and he has 1 follower. A man identified as Joe Chenley tackled and restrained Jacobonis. Stop it. Both of you. Just because I keep saying Jacobonis does not mean you can just sit there in your living room snickering. I would move on. I'm moving on to another story. Okay, Officer Fanone, the neck tattooed DC Capitol police cop who was tased 8 times till he had a heart attack, and they were trying to take his gun away because apparently, even though we now know they brought guns, they don't think they brought enough, I guess. This is like right-wing conspiracy theorists and all this, like these Alex Jones crisis actor assholes bothering him after a thing. Now, there's a dude who, and I want to see from you guys, there's a guy in this holding up a Trump banner that says cuckoo on it. And it looks like that guy is the same one who stands behind like Roger Stone and those guys at the courthouse with the traitor thing, like the treason weasel and whatever they like, the guy I'm talking about, he's always standing behind them holding up a sign. I think it's the same guy. He just trolls them in public.
Why were you there January 6th? You were not even on duty.
Why were you there January 6th? You were not even on duty.
Why were you
Shame!
there January 6th, Michael Fanone? You were not even on duty. Why do you work for CNN now? Are you a real police officer?
He avoided the question, y'all. I asked him if he was a real police officer. He wouldn't answer me. Probably because he speaks French.
Are you disappointed that you're going to make men face years in jail because of your lies?
Are you disappointed that you're going to face years in jail because of your lies? Okay, so see the guy with the kook? This is the one. The big Trump sign, the older dude. Watch this. Fanone just decides to walk to his car because these people are lunatics. And he knows better than to let them within 8 to 10 feet. This will be the, yeah. Watch what this guy right here. Watch the tip of this part and the. Oh, I'll back it up. This guy right here. This guy. Watch this part. So he's following him. There he is. And then these two are particularly just being assholes. Watch this part. This is kind of funny. I mean, well, you'll see.
In jail because of your lies?
Why do you have so many
Sorry. I know, like, it just reeks of one of those, like, whiffed soccer things. He stabbed me with a pole. It's my own personal January 6th. Oh!
An assault? Are you fucking kidding me?
An assault? Are you fucking kidding me?
He just hit me with his pole.
Sorry. It's like flag on the play. He walked into it. I was just trying to keep them. They were harassing that police officer, so I just put my sign in front of him, and he jabbed himself and then fell over like a total wuss. Did you guys see it?
You got it fucking coming, man.
I just red card. Sorry. I mean, again, we don't even see in this video the contact. Look, watch this. He just holds it right there. He's just blocking. And it's not poking into him. The dude is clearly behind it. And he just like does like this. And he basically falls over the wall. Oh! It's flying fruit. That's not funny. It's hilarious. Yeah. I heard the sign guy was arrested. I mean... look at this. Look at Fanone's just leaving like, all right. Have a nice night. The master race, ladies and gentlemen. Master race. Get the fuck up.
An assault? Are you fucking kidding me?
An assault? Are you fucking kidding me?
He just hit me with his pole.
Oh, I did not. He's faking.
Coming, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. There's supposedly other footage of it. Hold on. Let's see if this one covers it more. This is from the back part. Will we get to see the assault? Crisis actors. Crisis actors. Okay, this is the part where he walks past, and they're bugging him.
Michael Fanone, did you just set that up for that gentleman to get injured outside the J6 committee meeting? Do you set people up to get them arrested?
Do you set people up to get him arrested? Yes. He's a keen eye for people, who are clumsy.
Shame!
Shame!
Did you just see that he walked over that got set up to get hurt?
Hi, ma'am. That you heard that right. Did you just see this? He just walked that guy over and set him up to get hurt. Because I guess Officer Fanone has a kind of former officer has a like a radar. He's got a keen way of telling like who the vulnerable in the enemy crowd is. That's why on January 6th he ended up being dragged out and tased. Jesus fucking Christ.
That is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I agree. That was a terrible performance, and I honestly don't think that dude's going to get picked up for a second season. There goes his car. I got his car driving away. You want to see the video? Gary, get the fuck out of my living room. But he said he did a thing.
Yeah, he's in there. I have it on camera. He attacked that guy right there. He attacked her.
Block or charge, as Rex Chapman would say.
Who were you? Were you a federal worker or were you with the press?
Was you a federal worker or was you with the press? All right, I mean, can't argue with that. Gibberish being what it is. Oh yeah, remember how they sucked up to each other quickly right after? Committee is really demonstrating what disdains some of the footage. One example tonight was the Kushner shower clip. What? Oh, who it disdains. Yeah, should we go to some of the footage? I mean, don't we kind of have to? I mean, that nothing else is yeah, here we go. The committee, because this is what I do like about this is they post after the fact, they post the footage so you can look at it. This is the footage of Trump trying to say yesterday. This is him trying to get his 3-minute January 7th statement, and it took him an hour. Yeah, this is the.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Anytime.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack
Well, then just do it.
yesterday.
Again.
And to those who broke the law, you will pay. You do not represent our movement. You do not represent our country. And if you broke the law, you can't say that. I'm not going. I already said you will pay. The demonstrator.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not going to say they should go to jail, like a fine or something. Something they can go fund their way out of it.
Who infiltrated the Capitol have defied.
I'm sorry, infiltrate the what now? The infiltrate the Capitol?
Infiltrated the Capitol.
Oh, the Capitol. Yeah, all right.
Have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do
We'll
this.
do it live.
I'm going to do this. Let's go. But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
That means the election's over, dumb fuck. Once they certify the results, the election is over.
But Congress is certain. Now Congress is
Yeah,
certain.
right.
Now Congress
I
is
didn't say over.
And there's Ivanka sitting off in the corner feeding lines.
So let me see.
It's kind of like when they have a toddler doing a commercial, you know, or it's like Marlon Brando at the end of Apocalypse Now. Lahara, I swallowed a bug.
Go to the paragraph before.
What was the weird like bullfrog, the mouth breathing that he does? You know what I'm talking about? He does it all the time. This weird. If I ever start doing that, can you let me know? Thanks.
Okay.
That's a fart.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack yesterday. Yesterday is a hard word for me.
Just take it out. The heinous attack.
Good. Take the word yesterday, because it doesn't work with
the time frame, with the, because then it could be, he could be addressing the War of 1812. Oh yes, sorry. When he did his jacket, I was remiss in my duties. Hold on 1 second. Let's back up.
Take it out. The heinous attack.
Good. Take the word yesterday, because it doesn't work with the heinous attack.
Hold on, I have to back up further. There you go.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack yesterday. Yesterday is a hard word for me.
Just take it out. The heinous attack.
Good. Take the word yesterday, because it doesn't work with the heinous attack on our country. Say on our country. Want to say that?
No, keep it.
My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote.
Yeah, lying is hard. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so these are on January 9th, two of the president's top campaign officials texted each other about the president's glaring silence on the death of Officer Sicknick. Also shitty not to have acknowledged the death of the Capitol Police officer. That is enraging to me. Everything he said about supporting law enforcement was a lie. Yeah, what was your first tip-off? The fact that his followers were beating cops with Blue Lives Matter flags on flagpoles? You know what it is, of course. If he acknowledged the dead cop, he'd be implicitly faulting the mob, and he won't do that because they're his people. And he would also be close to acknowledging what he lit at the rally got out of control. No way he acknowledges something that could ultimately be called his fault. No way. I think these people know him. President Trump has never publicly acknowledged his responsibility for the attack. The only time he apparently did so was in a private call with Kevin McCarthy.
I've had it with this guy. What he did is unacceptable. Nobody can defend that, and nobody should defend it.
And yet, I mean, as it would turn out,
the only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation we should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it, but I don't know.
But let me be very clear to all of you, and I've been very clear to the president. He bears responsibilities for his words and actions. No ifs, ands, or buts. I asked him personally today, does he hold responsibility for what happened? Does he feel bad about what happened? He told me he does have some responsibility for what happened. And he needs to acknowledge that.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, this is this the Rose Garden stuff. Man, I want all of it. All of it.
To use it. As you can see on the screen, you can see the script is stamped "President has seen." The script said, quote, "I'm asking you to leave the capital region now and go home in a peaceful way." The president was urged to stick to this script, but he spoke off the cuff. Eric Hirschman and Nick Luna went with the president to film the message in the Rose Garden. Let's hear what they had to say and see the never-before-seen raw footage of the president recording this video message.
Ultimately, these remarks that we're looking at here in Exhibit 25 were not the remarks that the president delivered in the Rose Garden. Do you know why the president decided not to use these?
I don't know, sir. No, I don't.
Because he's an asshole.
Did the president use any written remarks to your knowledge, or did he just go off the cuff?
To my knowledge, it was off the cuff, sir.
Yeah. We could tell by the way he was talking. This was not well thought out.
Good, Chase. When you're ready, sir.
Sorry.
You tell me
When you're ready.
who's behind me.
He's gone around. We're all clear now.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had a election. Let me see. I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
When I got there, basically the president just had finished filming the
Sorry, I'm not going to take that bullshit seriously. I refuse to, so.
video, and I think he was basically retiring for the day.
Was there any
Retiring for the day.
discussion about the president releasing a second video that day?
Not that I recall.
Jesus Christ. Like Hirschman's just there going, okay, legally, does this cover our bases?
When he finished his video, I think everyone was like, day's over. People were pretty drained.
Were pretty what?
Drained.
But we say day over. There were still people in the Capitol at that point, weren't there?
There were people in the Capitol, but I believe by this stage, law enforcement, and I'd have to go back and look, but I believe law enforcement was either there or moving in or going to take charge. I just say people were emotionally drained by the time that videotape was done.
Yeah, where'd you get that idea? And then this is the vice president stuff. You know, the dude they were going to hang. The guy who was actually kind of doing the president stuff on that day. This dude went from 0 to Cheney in like 2 seconds.
Vice President Pence, there were 2 or 3 calls with Vice President Pence. He was very animated, and he issued very explicit, very direct, unambiguous orders.
Most of which had to do with him not ending up hung.
There was no question about that, and he was, and I can get you the exact quotes, I guess, from some of our records somewhere, but he was very animated, very direct, very firm.
That he did not want to be killed by a bunch of assholes. Something to that effect. I'd have to look at our records.
And to Secretary Miller, get the military down here, get the Guard down here, put down this situation, etc. Vice President Pence.
Etc. While Trump refused help, other leaders acted to clear the Capitol. Here's a never-before photos and video of congressional leaders during the attack. The video is a portion of a call they had with Chris Miller. He was the guy who signed that piece of paper that said that Muriel Bowser could have 380 National Guard people in the city of D.C. to help with traffic and with making sure that subway platforms didn't get too crowded for the big crowd that was showing up there. But they could not be armed. They couldn't have batons. They couldn't use surveillance. They couldn't use any non-lethal weapons or have shields or any of that shit.
We're not going to let these people keep us from finishing our business. So
I'm going to have a piece of romaine lettuce and get back to work.
we need you to get the building cleared, give us the okay so we can go back in session and finish up the people's business as soon as possible.
Mr. Secretary and Senator Schumer, some people here in the Capitol Police believe it would take us several days to secure the building. Do you agree with that analysis?
They're worried about the pipe bomb idea that some of these folk came in and may have planted pipe bombs. That was the other aspect of the pipe bombs the night before, was to essentially, whether they worked or not, create the fear that there were pipe bombs in the area. And so you didn't even need to have them go off. This would be another delay tactic. Strategically, if what you want to do is kick it back to the states, have a vote in the Congress, you believe you have enough votes because, you know, all you need is one congressperson per state, and there's more Republican states, it's effectively like a de facto Senate vote, then one of the ways you extend that to make that happen is you halt the work in the Capitol. Now, the problem they have, of course, is that the shit doesn't have to happen in the fucking Capitol. So even if the building was messed up, they would just move everybody over who needs to vote to the fucking FBI headquarters or some shit, anywhere there was a rotunda.
So what is the earliest that we could safely resume our proceedings in the Senate and House chambers? The earliest we could safely resume?
Here's my assessment, but I prefer to be in the ground, which I personally would prefer to be right now, but I need to be here. I would say, best case, we're looking at 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, so in talking this out strategically, the volume on this one is pretty quiet. I apologize.
These people keep us from finishing our business, so
I'll play it again real quick.
we need you to get the building cleared, give us the okay so we can go back in session and finish up the people's business as soon as possible.
Mr. Secretary and Senator Schumer, some people here in the Capitol Police believe it would take us several days to secure the building.
Again, that is because in all these fucking loose backpacks all over the place, and the fact that 2 pipe bombs were laid at the RNC and DNC headquarters the night before, how God knows, since Trump wanted the magnetometers taken down, and other people who didn't even go to his thing didn't have to pass through him to go to the more extreme one that was halfway between them and the Capitol, that there might be people in that crowd with backpacks that have more of those pipe bombs. And then, are they on timers? Were they lit? Are they booby trapped? Did some of these lunatics bring claymores and other shit? Like, that's why days. And again, you don't even have to intend to set them off to use them strategically to overturn the election. In theory, this is it was a stupid plan. It's always been a stupid plan executed by stupid people. So it was never going to work. But you could tell that's the thought process.
Do you agree with that analysis?
I'm not on the ground, but I do not agree with that analysis.
So what is the earliest that we could safely resume our proceedings in the Senate and House chambers? The earliest we could safely resume?
Here's my assessment, but I prefer to be in the ground, which I personally would prefer to be right now, but I need to be here. I would say, best case, we're looking at 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
So for that, and again, you got to think about it. That's happening live. That's not months later. There's a lot of concerns in that, like, just as far as whether or not you trust Christopher Miller at that point. And then this is Don Jersey. He's going to condemn this. He's got to condemn this shit. We've seen this one before. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. I'm pushing hard. I agree. This is the one you go to the mattress on. They will try to fuck this entire legacy on this if it gets worse. By the way, Don Jr. said that going to the mattress was a Godfather reference. Taking it to the mat is a wrestling reference. The mat, not mattress. And if he got it from the Godfather and they used it that way, then they were using it wrong themselves. Here's all these people texting Mark Meadows. Mark, I was just told there's an active shooter on the first floor of the Capitol. Please tell the president to calm people. This isn't the way to solve anything. POTUS needs to calm this shit down. Hey, Mark, the president needs to tell people in the Capitol to go home, okay? Some of us are drinking wine over here. Tom Kors, Please have POTUS call this off at the Capitol. Urge rioters to disperse. I pray to you. Call this off. I mean, they knew it was his folks. Chip Roy, fix this now. Well, shit, Chip, we could read that a couple of different ways. Was it because you wanted the people to leave? Or did Chip Roy think that they were fucking up and they weren't? Fix this now. Send in some support. Declare the Insurrection Act, martial law, so that the Proud Boys can run out and get their guns. We're going to lose. Will Thomas, they've breached the Capitol. Brian Kilmeade, please get him on TV, destroying everything you guys have accomplished. Everything. Okay. POTUS has to come out firmly and tell protesters to dissipate. Someone is going to get killed. Yeah, I think that's unfortunately the point. Mick Mulvaney, Mark, he needs to stop this now. Can I do anything to help? No, Mick, you can't. Barry Loudermilk, they have breached the Capitol. It's really bad up here on the Hill. Sorry, dude. Boo fuckity who. He's on your side. Apparently, according to Chip Roy, it was bad, but it wasn't bad enough. Yeah, so Trump says this, whatever, Pence let us down 224 tweet, which apparently was the, this is where the cops are trying to hold the line. There just aren't enough of them. They try to bring these barriers down, and then they, fuck that. So this is them getting him out of there. President's own National Security Council staff was closely monitoring the developments of the Capitol and tracking them in real time, so they knew he was getting these updates. Mark Meadows was getting these updates. Everybody inside there was getting these updates. The fact that he didn't act on them is directly, like, moment to moment, there's somebody popping in going, boss, this is happening. Boss, this is happening. Boss, this is a serious shit. The VP is being pulled. Like, there's no way at 216 he didn't know this was happening. And by the way, it's interesting that at 216, Pence is pulled for his own safety. The Secret Service pulled him away from that. 218, decision in the next 2-3 minutes, or they may not be able to move. VP may be stuck at the Capitol. Right? Second floor is breached. That's at 220. Trump tweets out at 224. He's getting these knocks at the door, whether they're telling him the truth or not. Whether these guys are saying executive privilege, I can't tell you what I told him. There's no fucking way he didn't know they were pulling Trump. They were pulling Pence from that area at 224. They'd already pulled him at, like 8 minutes ago. Effectively, he was on the move to this bit right here. And Trump sent it out. Look at this. VP, Capitol was breached. VP being pulled. Decision in the next 2-3 minutes. They're going to move. Second floor, Senate doors now breached. Explosions on the rotunda steps. Surface of the Capitol does not sound good right now. And this is the security, these folks are relatively apolitical, so they're not going to want to fuck their career just because Trump supporters are going to, Alex Jones them and dox them.
Okay. That last entry in this page is service the Capitol does not sound good right now.
Correct.
What does that mean?
The members of the VPT tell at this time were starting to fear for their own lives. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of very personal calls over the radio. So it was disturbing. I don't like talking about it, but there were calls to say goodbye to family members, so on and so forth. It was getting, for whatever the reason was on the ground, the VP detail thought that this was about to get very ugly.
I made the point on Dean's show that, because they were, how nervous the Secret Service guys were getting about this stuff. You have to understand what do you think of when you think of Secret Service and what their job is? Most people go to, these people are the ones who will take a bullet for the president. Right? That's it's Gary Sanji. Wow, Ethan, that's a reach. Is that to catch a spider? Along came a spider? Along came a spider. Yeah, Gary Sanji. Nice one. the Secret Service guys are the guys who would take a bullet for the president or the vice president because that's how they protect the country, is they throw themselves in it. This is, this is how they see their job. There's a huge difference between this kind of vision you have of how you will end doing your job in a moment, shot by a sniper or somebody trying to kill the president a la Reagan or something like that, versus being beaten to death by hundreds of the president's asshole supporters while you're defending his running mate. That is not the job they signed up for.
And did you hear that over the radio? Okay. What was the response by the agents, Secret Service agents who were there?
Everybody kept saying, at that point it was just reassurances, or I think there were discussions of reinforcements coming, but again, it was just chaos. They were just yelling.
Obviously, you conveyed the disturbing, but what prompted you to put it into an entry, as it states there, service at the Capitol?
If they're running out of options and they're getting nervous, it sounds like that we came very close to either service having to use lethal options or worse. Like at that point, I don't know. Is the VP compromised? Is the detail I don't know. Like, we didn't have visibility, but it doesn't. If they're screaming and saying things like "say goodbye to the family," like, the floor needs to know this is going to a whole nother level soon.
Jesus Christ. So literally, he couldn't make out some of what they were saying. So the fear came that, like, is the VP down? Are they, do they even know what's happening currently? Jesus Christ. And this is this is the footage I wish they would release all of, just for the folks at Fox News to comb through. And this is when she said she came in and she gave him a list of all the people who were, all the senators that he could call that might be on, on the team.
All right, then it says back there, and he wants list of senators. And then he's calling them one by one. Do you know which ones he called?
To the best of my recollection, no. As I say in my notes, he wanted a list of the senators, and I left him at that point.
Okay. All right, then it says back there, and he
Trump called him at 1:39. They talked for 4 minutes. Yeah, and then let's see. Trump was still adamant to go to the Capitol when he got off the stage. We have evidence from multiple sources regarding a heated argument in the presidential SUV, including testimony from 2 witnesses who confirmed that this heated argument occurred. Like, by the way, the whole, we'll testify, that never happened, has totally fallen apart. The right wing was crowing for all week, like, Cassidy Hutchinson is a liar, and we got 2 Secret Service guys who will come out and testify under oath that they never said any such thing, and that never happened. Meanwhile, you got a flood of other people who were on the detail who saw it too or overheard it on the radio. This is, let's see if we can. Yeah, here you go.
The president that Mr. Ornato said that the president was, quote, irate when Mr. Ingle.
By the way, I'm just going to enjoy the fact that Trump was losing his shit on January 6th. You got to take the little pleasures in life. That while all this awful was happening, this dude was fucking furious that he couldn't make more awful happen. I take a small joy in that.
Refused to drive him to the Capitol. Mr. Ingle did not refute what Mr. Ornato said. The second witness is retired Sergeant Mark Robinson of the D.C. Police Department, who was assigned to the president's motorcade that day. He sat in the lead vehicle with a Secret Service agent responsible for the motorcade, also called the TS agent. Here's how Sergeant Robinson remembered the exchange.
Was there any description of what was occurring in the car?
No, the only description I received was that the president was upset and that he was adamant about going to the Capitol, and there was a heated discussion about that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say heated, is that your word or is that the word that was described by the TS agent?
No, word described by the TS agent, meaning that the president.
Yeah, they were all talking shit about this stuff. Cassidy was just one of the few people, the other people they told in the White House immediately afterwards. These guys all talk to each other. That's why they had to remove the text messages. Because I guarantee there's some of them in there that go, this was fucked. Dude tried to choke me. Like, that's the ones that are missing. And they're not gone forever. I'm sorry. The idea that they can eliminate them from the internet entirely is just garbage. Unless we're talking about like WhatsApp or something that they were using, you know, outside of their official duties, which is a whole other problem.
Was upset, and he was saying there was a heated argument or discussion.
Oh, Laura, don't let this upset you. Again, there are sad things that happened that day, dangerous things, violence, but keep in mind that it could have gone far worse, and Trump's world is crashing down around him because he and the rest of the world knows that he is a fuck up.
About
Andrea, look at that. 1,000 people in the chat on the morning show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is HAL Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide. It's a lot more laid back. I don't do a lot of push, but if you're in the mood to like and subscribe and give a thumbs up to the show, I would really appreciate it. It always helps. If you're a troll and you hate what I'm saying, please don't forget to give a thumbs down. That helps just as much. Apparently, YouTube only gives a shit if I'm engaging or not. I mean, your eyeballs help. And when you write things in the chat room, obviously that's a big win for the channel. But you know, if you feel so moved, it always helps.
Going to the Capitol.
About how many times would you say you've been part of that motorcade with the president?
Probably over 100 times.
And in that 100 times, have you ever witnessed another discussion of an argument or heated discussion with the president where the president was contradicting where he was supposed to go or what the Secret Service believed was safe?
No, he was always on his phone, farting up the back of the car.
No.
Like other witnesses, Sergeant Robinson also testified that he was aware that individuals in the crowd were armed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe he was on special events channel, and I was monitoring the traffic, and so I could hear some of the units pointing out to individuals that there were individuals along Constitution Avenue that were armed, that were up in the trees, and I can hear the units responding to those individuals. And so that's.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you waste Cyrus? No reason. I just like doing things like that. You did. Refs. Yeah, right.
There's always a concern.
Because again, Trump thought these people aren't going to harm him. Hey, man, sometimes you outlive your usefulness to your most loyal followers. Ask any cult leader. I want them. I want all the warriors. I want them alive, if possible, if not wasted.
When there's a protest in the area.
And like other witnesses,
yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if there are guys with guns in the fucking trees that nobody has asked any questions. They're not there to shoot me. They're there to follow my orders.
Sergeant Robinson told us that the president still wanted to travel to the Capitol.
Yeah, because he's a fucking moron.
Even after returning to the White House.
So at the end of the speech, what was the plan supposed to be?
So at the end of the speech, we do know that while inside the limo, the president was still adamant about going to the Capitol. That's being relayed to me by the TS agent. And so we did part the ellipse and we responded back to the White House. However, the motorcade, the protest motorcade was placed on standby. And so we were told to stand by on West Exec until they confirmed whether or not the president was going to go to the Capitol. And so I may have waited, I would just estimate maybe 45 minutes to an hour, waiting for Secret Service to.
What a prick.
Make that decision.
Not him, Trump.
Decision.
Just making them sit in the cars while all this shit is going down at the Capitol to see if he's going to go up there and knock on their door. Like, and just go on in, get him. Find Mike Pence. According to my guys, he's in the sub-level basement. Turn right. It's kind of like National Treasure, but with assholes.
The motorcade waited at the White House for more than 45 minutes before being released.
Wasn't us. It was them. Warriors did it.
The committee is also aware that accounts of the angry confrontation in the presidential SUV have circulated widely among the Secret Service.
Yeah, sorry, you can't dogpile on Cassidy Hutchinson, folks. Again, like, Trump's a loudmouth. He surrounds himself with other loudmouths. Look at Michael Cohen. Unless given a specific order that something's secret, they brag about shit that's normally considered awful because it's considered a positive trait when it comes to Trump. Yeah.
Since January 6th. Recent disclosures have also caused the committee to subpoena yet further information from the Secret Service, which we've begun to receive and will continue to assess.
Oh, yes.
The committee is also aware that certain Secret Service witnesses have now retained new private counsel.
All paid for by the NRA. No, all paid for by the Save America PAC. Oh, no. All paid for by the RNC, which is money that is not going to help get Republicans elected this fall. Boo fuckity hoo.
We anticipate further testimony under oath and other new information in the coming weeks.
Oh, you bet. All right. Virtually everyone told Trump to condemn the violence, but he chose not to do it all that big. He refused to tell the mob to leave until 4/17. We saw that part. And Benny Thompson has COVID, so he was isolating. Dude, the amount of the amount of stuff that they are sitting on, and it's just pouring in. Like, this is, this reminds me a bit of like if Watergate spiraled into the OJ trial. And that's where we're headed. And by the way, unfortunately for Trump and fortunately for the rest of us, that is largely what the appetite of the American people looks like. That they may not be interested until it reaches some sort of zeitgeist level of prosecution, and then everybody's watching it. Think Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. A lot of people, may have been on the fence about the Watergate hearings until they aired some of the more provocative ones, and some of, in John Dean's testimony and the discovery of the news about there being recordings, and everybody's like, oh shit, recordings. That spread like wildfire. So a similar thing seems to be happening. And the Secret Service members that were protecting Trump, getting rid of texts is that kind of news. I don't know why. Fox's, AP News article. Yeah, this is not surprising to anybody. Jan 6 hearing dominates top networks, except one. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the nighttime stars of all those, of that particular network are all name checked in this crap. I have to say, though, that more than likely, Tucker Carlson's probably laughing his ass off right now because he was not involved with Trump. He was, either because Trump didn't think he was important enough, or he wasn't on board with all of it enough, or whatever the shit. There's reason, to believe that Tucker could play this as a power move, but Hannity and Ingram and Kilmeade and all those assholes, they're up to their Adam's apples in it. So, please tell me Pat Benatar's okay. Please, Pat. Okay. Hold on. Pat Benatar has dropped "Hit me with your best shot" from her current tour list out of respect for victims of mass shooting. Oh, okay. I don't know that because fire away. Yeah. When concerts do the mass. I mean, she's got every right to do it. She's got a ton of hits. Totally fine. That's my small contribution to protesting. I mean, good for her. We love Pat Benatar. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Did you oh, she's so good. Fucking hell. Let's check in these latest updates in the war in Ukraine. A lot of the fires where the farmers are burning fields intentionally. There's some areas where the Russians have been shelling them, but then the other areas where they burn the crops off for the next planting season have been mixed in with what people thought was Russian shelling, giving the Russians the illusion that they were actually firing on Ukraine more than they were. And now we know that that's not the case. Ukraine, Russia signed a deal to reopen Black Sea ports, averting food crisis. It's because they're going to be using ships, Ukrainian ships. They hope that deal will allow them to take the stolen grain that they're getting. What is this? Video from Ukraine's GUR of Ukrainian warmate loitering munition strikes on a Russian BM-21 Grad MLRS. Whoa. And concentration of troops near the Zaporizhzhia power plant. I mean, it's got to be an interesting choice because the Russians can just pelt the shit out of everything. They don't really care. They're not interested in saving anything. Whereas the Ukrainians not only want to minimize civilian deaths, period, they want to only get the invading forces. They also don't want to just destroy their own infrastructure and buildings any more than they already have to. So that's the kind of ongoing stuff. That's probably the sort of the primary. What is this? Journalists on the front line bringing the world truth about Russia's war against Ukraine are heroes. The Brothers Brick dedicated the series to soldiers that defended at Sevastopol and Azovstal and made figurines of Ukrainian female paramedics. That's cool. In central Kiev. I'll show you guys some stuff that's coming up that's happening currently too about the farmland. I'll see if I can bring it. Yeah. Why the world needs grain from Ukraine as a deal is stuck to restart exports. Okay, we've seen that. That's going to be the news because that'll get some of the stuff out to market again, which is good. I mean, it's amazing how they're willing to make these deals as they're losing because they can't. First of all, the mines in the Black Sea are effectively illegal at this point because this is not disputed territory. They're putting them around places like Odessa, and they have no even remote cartoonish claims on that territory. They can't say, well, we won this territory, we don't want to take it back, so we put these mines there, and we're mostly the people that are there, so the mines surround our areas, not we're just mining other people's territory. And so they don't have the right to put them there. And it's the only thing stopping a lot of this shit because because of the HIMARS, they can't get their fleet or what's left of it because they technically don't have a fleet. And I agree with Philip Bittner on this, that since they lost the Moskva, they don't effectively have a Black Sea fleet. They don't have a flagship. You don't have a fleet. You got a bunch of boats. And in doing that, they can't bring them they can't bring them close to the area where the grain would leave the country over by Odessa. That's a great way. Russian central bank slashed its key interest rate Friday, just a month after dropping it to where it was before sending troops into Ukraine, saying inflation is still easing, partly as consumer demand falls. Really? They don't? Russians don't feel like shopping right now? Weird. Attack the Russian position near Zaporizhia, nuclear power. Yeah, that's that's some of what we saw earlier. 8 howitzers, munition. Okay, that's yeah. Newsweek's been covering a bunch of that stuff too. And then we'll see this. This deal is crucial, especially for like North Africa and to some degree Sub-Saharan Africa, although they rely more on, I would guess, South African grain exports and what's made there. But I mean, it all spreads out. There's such a chain between it. There we go. 2 Russian submarines are being tracked by a Royal Navy warship in the North Sea as training continues for the Ukrainian military by the UK's armed forces. And I want to show you guys, hold on one second. I want to bring up, let's see, I got to go back to my main feed, see if I can find this. It'll be in my stuff. Hold on. I had put up a video, let's see, earlier about I want to see if I like because there was one particular piece of footage that trains in. Okay. Okay. This was a pretty funny story. I'm going to show you this real quick. A nanny goat has injured several Russian servicemen by triggering their tripwires with pin grenades in the village of Kinsky Rozdory in the Zaporizhia Oblast, in the state of Zaporizhia. It's the goat. It was the goat of goats. And this was funny as well. Like this story, Russia saying it's losing because Ukraine has experimental mutant troops created in secret biolabs. I posted this and it was like, what? That's bullshit or whatever. Nope. Here's the article. Russia says it's losing because Ukraine has experimental mutant troops created in secret biolabs and that they all have hepatitis A and that that's the plan. It's just ridiculous. Hold on one second. Let me go back to there's an OSINT guy I was recently. I'll scroll down because I did a lot of this early this morning because my body clock was completely screwed by the show last night. And apparently I've hooked everybody on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and X-Men this morning because of the number of because the response of the super soldiers in the secret biolabs. Apparently they're all full of nootropics too. They're all full of like, soul numbing drugs that turn you into a killing machine. Okay, here we go. What in the world? I thought this was pretty good, by the way. I would like to say, Joyce Eileen was saying, why is yesterday a hard word? And I said, when you have more of them than tomorrows. That was particularly poignant. Thank you, Randy, by the way, for reminding people not to miss the show. I got to find this video. It's going to annoy me. I like that. You guys are so good at retweeting stuff that it ends up stacking stuff that I, behind a bunch of other things. The goat of Kiev. That's funny. Hold on. There we go. New U.S. war. Russia has committed nearly 85. Yeah, here it is. This is kind of amazing. New from senior U.S. defense official on the war in Ukraine. Russia has committed nearly 85% of its military to the war in Ukraine. It has removed military coverage from other areas on their border and around the world. Yeah, they're pulling shit out of Syria and Chechnya and It's just, you love to see it, you know? That's the problem with modern colonization, you know? Let's see. Oh, and I did get to brag a little bit yesterday. I would like to point this out, that on Counts Vamped, I got to be on the marquee twice, my band and me. By the way, Nerd Halen is one word for anybody who cares. Otherwise, it looks like Nerd Halen. And you know, I'm not necessarily against that. It's just, yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, this was also a thing, too. Bloomberg was saying Putin said that Russia is facing, quote, colossal challenges in the high-tech sector. An unusually frank admission of the difficulties the Kremlin is experiencing as sanctions begin to bite. And my response, of course, was high-tech sector. That's adorable. The Internet of Things in Russia involves fishing line and a bell. Oh, and by the way, Biden signed a bill into law, the Formula Act, H.R. 8351, which harmonized the tariff schedule. So they eliminated some of the elements. There were a lot of commodities necessary to make baby formula that were on a list of things that, because of farming tariffs and other stuff, were specifically cited. And they were like, let's carve that out because baby formula is too important. Passed the House, passed the Senate, became a law. President signed it yesterday, which is pretty cool. And my response, of course, was that, remember when Biden, when you know, like when Trump was signing blank pieces of paper in when he had COVID. This business, hold on. Trump mocked for signing apparently blank paper and staged photos at Walter Reed. Look busy. Here I am doing the Reed thing. I'm fine. You're COVID. We love you. Or you're going to remember this colon forever, but go home in peace. And, yeah, and there's nothing on the paper. By eagle-eyed commentators who took social media to accuse him of staging the photos. They're 10 minutes apart, and because of the metadata, and he's got his jacket off in one. He just filmed a bunch of them. Yeah, there it is. Too stupid to take the metadata out. Good job, guys. What do I have to tell you guys about metadata? It'll always get you. Okay, hold on one second. I gotta find this now. Hold on. Is it? Yeah, here it is. Hold on. Here you go. I found the site. So give me 1 second to scroll. Yeah, okay. So here just catching you up on the border regions and the fighting going on. Let's see. This is like the kind of movement. This is the Ukrainians moving in. This is the Russians trying to move forward by breaking in two sides and trying to encircle this little area in an area they'd already laid claim to. Yeah, and then these fires, a lot of it was like, oh, they're firing into Ukraine. Turns out these are, there's a few of them, way fewer than there were, but there are a few of them that, and about half of these are actually just farmers burning the stalks of crops and stuff to get ready for the next planting. Hold on, what is this? Russian mothers, you get a car? Okay, right, because they're giving cars to people who die over there. It seems they are digging these down. I think I found a photo of one in Izium. Yeah, they're bringing these things in, these little bunker things, and they drop them off and fire from them. Like, nah. Yeah, this is them. They dig into them, and they make these kind of like little trench things that will supposedly protect them, they think, from the grenade-size munitions on the mini drones. And all it does is make you an obvious, they can see, like a trench, you can hide a trench easier than you can, I mean, maybe they're covering them up and they've got a plan for it, but it doesn't seem like it. Upon estimates, there are between 8 and 12 HIMARS currently in the battlefield in Ukraine. The U.S. on July 20th announced the delivery of 4 more following the 4th Ramstein meeting of defense ministers. Ramstein, du hast. An undisclosed number of M270 MLRSs, a similar but heavier, not to be confused with the RUSs, the rodents of unusual size from The Princess Bride. A similar but heavier truck-mounted system provided by Western countries are also operational in Ukraine, according to Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov. Within just weeks, a few HIMARS have managed to strip Russia of the majority, if not all, of its most considerable ammunition and fuel depots in Donbass and Ukraine's occupied south. They are fucking these guys into a cocked hat. Russian pirates getting clapped by the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade, location Sprine, and this guy posts his stuff and then he geolocates it using maps and the area, so you can tell where the roads are, exactly where they are. Sometimes the Russian stuff that they post still has the geolocation information in it. This is, oh, by the way, this guy posted this, he was wrong about it, tweeted this photo, I've deleted it, here's why. This is what he's talking about, like, the idea that these were Russians striking these areas and that was setting the stuff on fire, when in reality they were burning their own crops on purpose. And there's kind of a difference between the color of the smoke and what they do, and blah, blah, blah. There's another thing I want to show you, and then we'll do this. I mean, it's like, yeah, so this is the range of the area that they're going to be able to hit over the river now, because they've moved in. I mean, this HIMARS, man. I wanted to find the chart of the before and after of bombings. And by the way, they're using this dude from Fraggle Rock to represent the leader of the Chechen forces. It's a little too cute, I think, but that's the bridge being hit. It's the Swedes remarking on that. They have the best eyes in the sky on it apparently right now. More LMRs. Yeah, so this is 20 meters wide, and this is where the HIMARS hit this particular bridge, and basically they're basically trying to perforate it, and then the next round will break it in half. They go, okay, and then this is the story that Philip Ittner posted earlier about how the Russians are saying that they have destroyed 4 HIMARS. They have not. Standard run-of-the-mill Russian bullshit. There's a translation of this one. Oh, this is them training their soldiers. We stand on them, and I shoot the gun in the sky, and the forest is amazing. And yeah, here it is. Russia Today broke this down. The correspondent point of the Federal State Unitary Enterprise International News Agency, Russia Today, and the Republic of Sputnik. Where do you go? Here we go. Website Sputnik. Head of the command. With respect, we hope for full cooperation. Okay. Testifies, by respect, requests assistance, preparing report. Russian troops, according to the agreements reached, mock-up launcher will be delivered by the Russian side. Training. Okay, this might be the wrong one. Anyways, there's a translation of that other Russian article where they're basically saying they destroyed 4 HIMARS, and it's just fucking goofy. Yeah, this is the whole, like, it couldn't be happier to be in Iran. Yeah, you could. That's not a good sign. Iran's in deep shit right now, and if you're relying on them, you're trying to get the deal you're going to have to make, the ass kissing that will be involved with getting stuff from Iran is going to be fucking horrible. And let's see. Oh, Putin says Russia, Ukraine share historical unity. Is he right? Yeah, sure. In the same way that that King George could say that about the colonies in America before they broke free. Yeah, they speak English. And this was, we didn't get to watch this fully the other day. This is Erdogan keeping Putin waiting. Watch him suck his teeth when they move in close on him. He goes. And watch, he walks in the door right about now. Something like that. There he goes. He spots him at one point on the other side of the room. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Finally, here comes. Hey, buddy. What's up, short stuff? Who's got the power dynamic in this one right now? Who's got the top hand? Who's got the bottom hand? Who's making sure they have the top hand in this handshake? I want to go all Dr. Scott Adams, but yeah. Imagine when you're able to search translation, original text tags, and download one spot from all this. Okay, this is OSINT Ukraine. Yeah. Yeah, that was part of where this other story that was floating around too is pretty fucking hilarious. Okay, that's older. Man, it's just, again, HIMARS. Boop. Oh, this is the weirdest thing. Look at this. Like, talk about using yakety sax. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. So there's a bunch of soldiers sitting on top of this Russian tank. And whoever's inside is either not aware or they're drunk or they're just fucking around. Watch this. Watch this. After they all get away from it. Like, they're just like, we gotta park. It was so odd. This is, the Ukrainian military striking these, the howitzer positions. Look at the pockmarks in the earth from this. It's fucking, this is Putin's war of choice. And not that the earth gives a shit, quite frankly. It does a lot worse. You know, look at the top of a volcano. You need to talk about giant galactic zits. This guy calls Putin Pootler. And, campaign against Ramzan Kadyrov. That's the dude who they use the Fraggle Rock character on. Posters in Turkish appear in hotels that he was a child killer, a liar, and therefore unworthy of attention and trust. The protesters are asking for sanctions against Ramzan Kadyrov. That's an ongoing thing, too, is that a lot of these guys who are going to fight for Russia, there's tension in their own areas that they went to even join this shit, which is kind of incredible. Okay, so more. This is the back and forth of these kind of situations, yada, yada. All like border dispute issues of, where the range is. Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing is that the Russians have removed their boats from here in Sevastopol where they had parked them and moved them back to here. And so they have to send them all the way around here to do anything. And if they use the land bridge areas to travel as a passageway to get stuff to stay out of the range of HIMARS, they have to drive their stuff this way. That's if they can maintain Kherson. They're going to lose Kherson. And as soon as they lose Kherson, this is in range. And then once this is out of their reach, then this is in range. Then this, the Ukrainians are using basically the Russians' plan against them, which is salami slice your way across. Yeah, this is the range issue. 300 kilometer, this is the current range of HIMARS, And this is, I think, the Russian border over here. Right up here. This one. Womp. Like that. And this is the Donbass part that they've, they allegedly have taken. I'm sorry, but if you're in this area, you don't own any of that area if these guys want to take it back unless you're willing to fight for it and stand. And they're not. They're recruiting 55-year-olds as green recruits, not bringing them back into service, starting from scratch. What? Here's a terrible Orlan 10 footage of burning HIMARS. That's funny. It's the Russian spy satellite. They're fucking around. He had, and one more thing I wanted to show you is that he had a troop movement thing, but I might not be able to find it. I might have to show you guys later in the afternoon show. Okay, I'm not gonna show that because it'll be gnarly. Yeah, I'll find it later on. The fact that they don't have Kharkiv and they're not going to get Kharkiv is a huge deal. I'm looking forward to, as many of you are, and I'm going to let you guys go because I'm already 20 minutes over time. I'm going to let you guys go, but I'm looking forward to the Jimmy Dore and Aaron Mate videos about how Ukraine is losing and a failed state and all that shit. That explains the huge drop off in artillery coming from Russia because all of their ammo depots are getting blown the fuck up. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, these are the tanks shooting in the direction of, judging by the elevation of Meadows, not direct fire. Yeah, they're fighting, they're shooting for 3 kilometers. This is some of the Russian stuff. And yeah, I'll find it later on. I want to show you like the pullback of the forces. It's like you want to go down a rabbit hole. Holy shit. Just start looking at at just the stuff around. Let me see if I can find one other thing. The available intel from the front line and from that situation, like here you go. This is the aggregator. How old is that stuff? 18th and 20th. 17. Okay, that's too old. Hold on. 1 second. Yeah. These guys, Ukrainian Air Force is currently actively use various types of uncommon S-25 guided missiles, blah, blah, like this old shit. These are they're imprecise. They have considerable warheads. They're just big cluster, or they're not cluster munitions. They're just big fucking bombs, and they're dumb. You just fly over and drop them, which is dangerous as a mission and not particularly accurate. That's why the HIMARS are better. The Ukrainian transport truck, which was towing a howitzer, was destroyed by Russian Zala. Loitering munition, this is one of theirs. They're going to claim that this was one of the HIMARS. That's what they're talking about. The T-80U tank, which was previously captured from the Russian army, the tank received new pixel camouflage and tactical designs. I've seen this one before. I've seen that actual tank footage before. Yeah, there we go. They hit this one like 3 times. This is, it's like almost reruns. Oy, God. Artillery armored vehicle. I'm just trying to claim MT-12. Oh, this is just a gunner did this. Yeah, it's a javelin top attack. They're firing a javelin from a helicopter. These are the exploding armor pads that pop up in case a drone tries to drop something on them. They detect incoming and then they pop up and they explode the stuff over top of it. Oh, this is the Russian, is it? Yeah. This is the Russian Orlan 10s. These are the UAVs that they have that have like toy parts in them. Jesus Christ. I don't know why anybody would join the Russian army at this point. Like it's just, I mean, you'd have to be a lunatic. There is no way that somebody is like, yeah, this is working. This is gonna, I mean, even with the amount of like propaganda that's going on in the country, it's just not enough. Like nobody's buying that shit. It's an abandoned tank, and then they hit the other one just in case. That one's not going anywhere. Maybe they already hit it before. They just don't have the footage of the hit. Yeah, these are the drops and all that kind of stuff. And check Z. Okay, anti-materiel rifle was okay. Yeah, this is them training up on stuff. I mean, it's a whole new world from a military standpoint. In the Russia, army recruits you. Yeah, you're kind of right. It's all conscripts at this point, or people who are just desperate and broke. It's just cannon fodder, man. Like at what point do the Chechens recognize, even the ones that are getting their ass kissed on Channel 1, at what point do they realize that Russia is getting rid of them by sending them to the front line? Right? Hi, moms. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you guys this afternoon. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Sorry about the bump of the time this morning, but I will be on Dean's show. If you listen to Dino Badala's Sirius XM show, I will be on there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my take on a couple of things, because I went a little deeper in the into the conversation, with as much as I could with limited time, and I'm curious on a couple of. Well, but I would say, I mean, everything's controversial. That's the whole purpose of that segment. But I would love to hear your take on it. So give them a listen, and I will see you guys later this afternoon. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. I have to do the morning outro because that's where I'm. All right, bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show. Look, I did it. I almost forgot.